Right now, all new on the WHAS11 night team. We're on the scene of breaking news. A shooting on Greenwood Avenue. Police giving a briefing within the past hour. Plus, 3 men with guns and a rifle firing into the Seafood Lady restaurant in the Nulu neighborhood more than a year ago. Metro Police just now releasing these photos, asking for help. The night team talking to the restaurant owner.
When it did happen, police responded in less than a minute.
And then the big JCPS vote, okaying the process to buy a weapons detection system as they get bids from a vendor. Community leaders react.
And you have heard over the course of the last 5 years that the community does not want police in schools.
Plus, the new tribute tonight to Coach Denny Crum. U of L turns its campus fountain red, honoring the legend who died this morning. Right now on the WHAS11 night team. First here tonight on the night team, we begin with breaking news. A man's been shot and killed tonight in Louisville's Parkland neighborhood of West Louisville. Louisville Metro Police say officers responded at about 8:30 tonight to the shooting on Greenwood Avenue. He was found dead at the scene with at least 1 gunshot wound. Now, police talked about it within the past hour.
We always encourage everybody to reach out to us. We can't do this by ourselves. We never can. It's very important to have cooperation in the community to help solve these crimes.
If you can help detectives from Metro Police on this shooting tonight, call the anonymous tip line at 574 LMPD. Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us on the night team. I'm Doug Profit. Also happening tonight, the weapons detection system that JCPS hopes will stop weapons from getting into our schools took a big move forward tonight. JCPS will now be getting bids from potential vendors. JCPS is proposing a system that uses AI, that's artificial intelligence, to specifically look for things like guns and explosives on students. Students would not have to take off their backpacks and jackets before going through the system. Now, the system is monitored by a team of 3 people. One of those would be an armed officer. WHAS11 night team's Taylor Woods and photojournalist Ian Hardwitt covered that vote tonight where community leaders talked about its effectiveness. And Taylor, you heard a lot of different opinions on this. It was very interesting. Not everybody was sold.
Yes, Doug, there are some mixed feelings and emotions from some JCPS educators and community leaders who feel more data and alternatives need to be shared before the school board makes a final vote on a system.
We want to know the data on how many guns are coming in the school. We need to know more before we just jump right to a vote.
JCPS taking a move forward to buy a weapons detection system that would weed out weapons before they get into the schools. There were 2 possible staffing options, an armed officer or a school staff member getting students through the line.
Please consider another alternative to police in every school. It will not help me nor many of my students feel any safer.
Most of the speakers were JCPS educators and community leaders expressing opinions about police helping with the detection process.
We're making our schools into fortresses with an AI weapons detection system and police, a system that has not been proven to make schools safer.
The weapon detection system looks for firearms and explosive devices. It's similar technology used in Charlotte, North Carolina public schools. The JCPS board clarified one point: secondary screening will not be done by an armed officer.
We do want to make sure every single lane has an individual from the school they're working that knows the children and can assist with that process.
Deputy Mayor David James attended the meeting, urging the board to vote yes to the detection system.
I'm here asking you to help us protect children. It's not a solution. It's not perfect, but we need to work together to try to get to perfect.
JCPS board members like Dr. Corey Scholl say the school system also needs to address its policies for students caught with guns instead of them being criminalized.
Perhaps we need to seek the partnership of lawmakers who will help us meet the needs of young people who fundamentally don't feel safe in this community.
JCPS voted to get bids from vendors on the detection systems. A campus walkthrough would take place within weeks. If the board selects a vendor, the ordering process takes 8 to 10 weeks.
I've seen it, the team's seen it. I think it can be effective, and I think if this is something that is not effective, we can take away.
Now, if the school board approves the weapon detection system, it will be implemented in high schools first, followed by middle schools. In studio, Taylor Woods, WHAS 11 Night Team on your side.
Taylor, thank you very much. Now, more than a year after a shooting right into a popular Nulu restaurant here in Louisville, Louisville Metro Police today released stunning photos of the suspects as they were standing right outside with their guns. Take a look at these photos tonight, folks. Police say that these three suspects, all carrying weapons, began shooting right through the windows of the Seafood Lady restaurant on the afternoon of Sunday, March 6, 2022. 4 people were hurt that day. Luckily, no one died. Police believe the men are associated with a red car, and they say that they have since discovered that car but are still looking for the suspects. Now, the owner of Seafood Lady, Nichelle Thurston, said tonight that officers responded in under a minute that day. It happened on a Sunday afternoon in early March. Since then, she told us tonight she's seen more officers making sure everything is safe.
At first, for the first month or so, people were a little hesitant on coming out. Likewise, when there's a shooting anywhere, people are a little bit hesitant on going to that area. But things are picking up for us. Things are getting back to normal, and that's one of the reasons why I want the community to know that this is a safe place to be.
Once again, here's a look. If you have any possible information on who these 3 men could be, LMPD is urging you to call them, give them a tip at 574-LMPD or use the online tip portal. And take a look here. You are looking live right now from the U of L campus. That's where WHAS 11 Night Team photojournalist Ian Hardwood at the moment is showing us the new tribute from the University of Louisville tonight to Coach Denny Crum. University of Louisville turning all the lights red on Grawemeyer Hall and the cascading fountain right nearby Grawemeyer. Tributes coming in from around the world tonight for the Hall of Fame coach who died this morning after a long illness. He adopted Louisville and passed up bigger offers to leave. Also new tonight, just a few blocks away, these monitor boards at the U of L field hockey complex showing a picture of the coach reading in loving memory. Crum led the men's basketball team to its first 2 NCAA championships, 1980 and 1986. And U of L Athletics put out a video on Twitter showing how he grew into a Hall of Fame coach.
We've always known him plain and simply as the coach of the Cards, but now, ladies and gentlemen, I have to introduce to you Hall of Fame coach Denny Crum.
Coach Crum securing more than 600 victories for U of L, which ranked 15th of all time. His style of coaching created thousands of U of L fans throughout the years. Denny Crum was ahead of his time. Lots of coaches give their money and volunteer today, but Denny Crum did it in an era with no cell phones when your every move wasn't documented. Tonight we have perspective from the legendary WHAS sportscaster who covered him from day one, Van Vance. Coach Scotty Davenport, who coached under Crum as a U of L grad assistant, and 1980 championship player Jerry Eves.
He impacted so many individuals and their kids. Everyone understands he impacted us, his players, but he impacted my kids because I taught the lessons he taught me to them. And I'm sure all the other players did also. So he's got generations of people that he's impacted.
His impactful way of living his life. He never said no to someone in need, a former player, a former coach, a manager, a trainer. He was always there. If it was a charity, it was a cause, but it was never about him. It was never, oh, I'll show up just to do it. I don't want to. No, it was because he wanted to help others.
The state and the area adopted Denny. He became part of it. And then he also adopted us as an area here. He loved it. He loved being here. You just identify him so much with basketball in Kentucky and especially in Louisville.
And as you've been hearing, Denny Crum was the rare coach who stayed loyal to this school and this community, even when the relationship with school administrators got rough. Sports director Ken Spencer is here now looking back at a remarkable life and career, and we're hearing so much today about him. Kent, it is so amazing.
You truly are learning just how special of a person that he was. You know, the numbers on the court speak for themselves. The 2 national championships, the 6 Final Fours, 675 victories. Denny Crum truly was a Hall of Famer, both on the court and off it.
When Denny Crum walked into an arena, he carried with him a confidence, a calmness. It was why he was known as
Cool Hand Luke, because whenever I needed to do something, I did it.
I can't remember ever him losing his cool or getting frustrated or really upset in the huddle, he was always like, okay, here's what we need to do.
Crum came to Louisville in 1971 after being a longtime assistant at UCLA under his mentor, legendary coach John Wooden. It didn't take long for Crum to put the Cards on the map, leading them to the Final Four in 1972 and 1975. And it was after that season his alma mater came calling after Wooden retired.
He went out to UCLA. They offered him the job. He came back to Louisville. He had made up his mind he was going to take the job. Okay, this is right after this is 75. He gets back to his office, and a friend of his, Gene Sullivan, called him. And Gene was a pro out at Wildwood. And he said, hey, Denny, we need a fourth. Can you come over and play? And that one phone call changed his mind. He stayed in Louisville. Now you ask, well, how could that happen? And he said, that didn't happen out in LA. It was really tough to get a tee time for one thing and just go play. He said, only Louisville. And that changed his mind.
Louisville, national champions, 1980.
The rest, they say, is history. Crum led Louisville to capture the 1980 national championship.
We still won it when the going got tough. We just hung in there, and I don't know how it happened, but it did.
That was his first, so yeah, that's special. It was special to this community, to our fans. It was the first.
Crum would go on to win a second national title with Louisville in 1986. The wins, the milestones continued to pile up, and in 1994, he was inducted into the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame.
But to me, it is truly very, very important. Now that you've placed me here among those who have played and coached the game with great success, I am honored and humbled beyond anything I could have imagined.
Perhaps his biggest gift, his impact on people. Not many can take their biggest rival.
Well, we asked Coach Hall.
And he wouldn't give you an answer, would he?
Well, he tried to walk out in the interview, actually.
Yeah, well, that's typical.
And become the best of friends, like he did with Joe B. Hall.
We had a good, close relationship that was just like we'd known each other forever.
It also goes without saying the lives he changed of those who suited up for him wearing cardinal red, a message that remained the same over the years.
To give to each other and to be unselfish players. If they did that, then that would carry over to their lives as well.
It was such a positive influence on us at such a young age. So when you have someone like that, okay, it's like a father figure, or a big brother or whoever, type of person that can really make a difference in your life, have an impact on you. And he had an impact on me and all of us.
In 2001, Crum stepped down and retired, but remained in Louisville. Throughout the years, he received countless deserving honors from the university and community he loved so much, and from those he once called a rival.
One of the true icons of the game, and someone that I've admired my entire life.
No matter who comes and who goes, now and in the future for the Cardinals, Denny Crum will always be Louisville's coach.
Well, current Louisville men's basketball coach Kenny Payne, who played for Crum in the 80s, released this statement. Today is a sad day for me personally, as well as the basketball world. My thoughts go through all the lessons that he taught, not just to me, but every player he ever came in contact with. Those lessons are still relevant today. We were so blessed to have him in our lives. He was a true treasure who gave so much to the university and the community.
Thank you, Kent. And if you missed it, Kent and I brought you a 30-minute special report earlier tonight on WHAS 11 News. We call it WHAS 11 News Presents Denny Crum, a Hall of Fame Life. And you can watch it right now. We've posted it on the WHAS 11 YouTube page. The WHAS 11 archives go back so many years to his early years. We'll also show you how he gave back to Louisville.